Hello, this is Steve from Beto's Leatherworks. Today's project is this very cool Alden boot. Now this was a special markup for the company Twill. Not sure where they are, but it's a cap toe. It's got some broguing on it. It's not an indie boot. I forgot what they call these now. Tankers? I don't think these are tankers. Tankers are different styles. So what we're going to do for this job, we're going to completely take everything apart. We're going to retain the welt. We're going to add a midsole, leather sole, and a commando sole with the recessed edges, red stitches, leather heel base, and matching heels. And then we're going to replace these speed hooks with the stud speed hooks, which are a lot more sturdier than what these are. And brush them up and spray them with water repellent, make them look good again. All right, let's get started. Now, some people will say, well, how come he's changing everything? Because they're fairly worn, you know? Well, the guy wants to customize them a little bit to what he likes. He wants a little bit thicker. He wants the light color edge, and to make them look a little different, and different studs there. You know, I can hear the comments already now.
Hey, man, I would have worn that down a little more before I changed that. It was a waste of money. What's wrong with you?
You do you, customer does what he does. And I do me. That's it. The world will be a better place. And since we're not going to save anything from the uppers, might as well just tear it off. Yeah, these are nice boots. I like them. Something about suede, you know? Like a brown suede. It's really cool. I like the light color suede too. Those are nice also. Like cognac or something. And she is off. This is a little cover that the manufacturer puts on to kind of, not to protect the shank, but have a little bit of a piece between the shank and the midsole, so no chances of it squeaking when it starts moving a little bit. All right, let's continue. This is a stitch picker. Okay. It does hurt if you're forcing your hand against it. Sometimes it slips off the edge of the welt and it does wake you up. If you miss some, just go back and take it out. Now it's really important to remove all these stitches prior to putting more on there, because what happens is that the more stitches you put on the little thin leather welt there, the weaker it's going to become. So it's a really good idea to remove the old stitches before you go ahead and put a set of new ones on there. I mean, there's a lot of cobblers who kind of miss that detail, and they really shouldn't, you know. If they care about what they're doing about their job, then they really should take out the old stitches. That's just how it is. There's no excuses. Make sure that we got everything here. Oh, we got a straggler right there. All right, let's continue. You know, when we take the soles off, usually we go through a little bit of inspection phase to make sure all the welt is in good condition. And if not, you know, take care of it. Because basically that's the foundation of the shoe, and you don't want that to be coming loose after you've done everything. Because then you'd have to really take things apart to get to the problem. So always making sure that the welt is in good condition. If it's loose, go ahead and stitch it up. If it needs to be replaced, you know, contact the customer. But most of the time you can get a good idea of what the condition of the welt is in when you're looking at it, when you're inspecting it before you take it apart. And not all the time. Yes, there are some occasions where the welt does kind of fall apart in your hands as you're removing things. That does happen. But majority of the time you already know what you're doing before you take it apart. There's always surprises along the way. But you deal with it. If it's minor stuff, you do it. If it's really, really major stuff that you're not comfortable, that you're going to spend the time on it, then you contact the customer and you let them know it's going to be additional cost or whatever the case may be. This is a fairly easy job from, you know, compared to what I normally do. So we're going to skim right through this and get it done. Let's continue. Alrighty, here goes nothing, mate. You don't know what time it is. It's hammer time. Well, not really hammer time, but not like the main hammer time, but a starter hammer time. Cool. That's your midsole. This is our house leather. Mellow Tan. This is a very old company. I don't think it's around anymore. This particular leather sole. I bought a shop that was closing. This was some of his stock. Oh, almost forgot. My own anti-squeak fabric. So anyway, as I was saying, this was his stock. And now I've got a few pairs left that I use it for, like midsoles or if I'm going to cover it up with another piece. Like in this case, we're going to do a commando sole on top, which is the Vibram mini lug soles, which are these guys here. Okay. So basically we're just using it as a filler between layers. It's not really going to get wear, but it's a sturdy leather. Oh, did I say hammer time? And me bumping in the camera. Oh my God, such a professional videographer. All right, as you guys can see, we are getting there. Let's continue. Now, some people put it straight line like the sole is. I don't know. I like doing it differently. Gives it a little bit of a personality, you know? I don't think I'm lacking in personality. I loves me. All right, we're getting there, as you guys can see. Marked for the sole, marked for the heel. Where'd it go? Okay. It's looking beefy already. All right, let's go. All right, so now we've got our mini lugs on, trimmed the edges. Now we want to make it look like that, which will turn it into a commando sole. Commando sole basically is just the edges are recessed and you can't really tell from a view from the side that it's got lugs on it. Okay, so we're going to cut the edges here and make it look like similar to this right here. But I think this is better than the factory one for a couple of reasons. One, it's better material. This is way too soft. Okay. Second, if you noticed, look how close the edge is to the stitch. Look how far it is from here. So when we do it here, we have a way to control that. We literally just draw a line going all the way around the edge, cut off about 1/2 inch, because we're following this line right here, and we're cutting at the same angle as that. And once it gets done, it'll look much more centered than what the factory's done. All right, let's continue. My finger here is basically the guide for how far from the edge that I want to draw the line. Approximately 1/2 inch. You can do whatever you want. It's not like really a set standard of what it needs to be. Do whatever you feel like is right for you. You do you, and I'll do me. Excuse me. All right, so go ahead. Cut that like that. Okay. And you're going to come back. And that's it. Now I'll go over that edge with a little bit of a sandpaper, you know, just to make it look a little smoother. But other than that, this is how we do it. Man, that was a tough stitch there. Usually I don't stitch this thickness on this machine, but I felt more comfortable using this than the other one. It's not too bad. Went in the same holes anyway. All right, not too bad at all. We got lucky. All right, so in order to access the back of these hooks, we've got to unstitch that seam there. So we can get behind the hooks. Voila! And that's the back of the hooks. Now these are a pain in the ass to remove, right? Some of them are really hard to cut, hard to move. That you see that heart shape, this flower shape pattern. So when they use the tool, it opens it up like a flower, and you really need to kind of move one at a time, or sand it, or grind it, anything just to get it off, so you can put new ones on there. All right, I'm gonna go struggle for a little bit removing these, and then I'll be right back. All right, there goes nothing. So we got our hooks in there. Okay. All right. Nice. Look at that. Very cool. This is as solid as solid can get. All right, let's continue. All right, so since I was working on the eyelets and the speed hooks on the brown suede ones, I figured I'd had about 3-4 pairs of speed hook conversions that I needed to do on a few other Alden pairs. So these are all the ones that I got done. All right, enjoy. So I figured I'd get a couple of more jobs in along with the boots, similar jobs. What a beautiful pair of boots, huh? So we're going to replace the eyelets and the speed hooks. Now the speed hooks are going to be the factory speed hooks and not the stud speed hooks. All right, let's continue. All right. One down, 2 more pairs to go. Beautiful boots. All right, here's the other pair. Same job. Let's take all these eyelets and hooks out and replace them with brass. Beautiful boots. All right, we are done with number 2. I should say number 3. Man, what a beautiful pair of boots. Look at that. Let's continue. All right, these beauties are done. There's another one that I did. Let me see if I can find that earlier. It's the cousin of this one. All right, let's take a look. Look at that. Wow. All right, let's continue. Welcome back. We are done with another project. I think they turned out pretty good. Now, this was a $600 job. Stud speed hooks. These are awesome. I don't know why I love them so much. Brushed up the uppers a little bit. Didn't need much on the uppers. Just brushed it up, sprayed it with a little bit of water repellent, and really that's about it. You know, it's in beautiful shape. All right. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, please email me. bedos@yahoo.com, bedos@yahoo.com. And if you have something that you want me to look at, incorporate that with the email with some pictures. It saves me a lot of time, guys. Going back and forth before we even look at what you have as far as item, and you have questions on. Just email me. Just say, Steve, this is my item. This is what I would like. What do you think? This way I'll get an idea of what you have right from the first email. We don't go back and forth 5, 6 times. That helps me out greatly if you do that on the first email. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so I guess that's about it. We've got many more projects lined up, and I'm trying to catch up with a lot of work, so please be patient. I'll get to you guys one at a time. All right, thanks for joining me. We'll see you guys again on the next project. Take care.